welcome to another Fortean Words, where Rumble is being a gimp. Hobbit's gone for a shit or whatever he's doing. Yeah, so here we are.
Yeah.
Another Fortean Words. I'll tell you what's really 14. It's like, why does everybody at the DNC conference look a certain way? I was speaking specifically about, what was her fucking name?
What, you don't have to be a nonce to work at the BBC, but it helps.
I'd certainly think it's definitely on the thing. What's her name? Olivia Juliana. I mean, she is a beauty.
Were you saying
who?
Olivia Juliana.
Who's that? I don't know this person. Who is it?
Hold on.
Explain it to me.
What's Mariana Curtis doing these days? Has BBC Verify come up with anything?
What's Mariana? That...
Conspiracy theories.
That's why Rumble, because I haven't started streaming to Rumble yet. I'll start streaming in a minute to Rumble once I've sorted this out. Like that. Open up Chrome. And then you'll see this fine figure of a woman. She says, it's like, this is really funny because she's a really fat woman, and she says, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, which I thought was quite funny.
If you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Yes.
What does
What a
mean?
beauty! Look at her. There she is.
You're on the menu. So Gen Z, let's take our seat in our democracy and
that's what I mean.
This November.
Is she talking about eating babies? Are they like that open about eating babies at the DNC?
No, just as a reminder, 25 babies were murdered and 8 men were turned into eunuchs at this convention.
And also, and there's a isn't there like an abortion factory in the parking lot or something, isn't there?
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
When I said 25 babies were murdered and 8 men were turned into eunuchs, what did you think I was referring to?
Oh right.
Oh wait, what? Wait, what? You actual eunuchs? Or are we just talking about having the snip? Like
vasectomy and abortion, if you want to use their euphemisms. I refuse to use their terms. And so should you.
Because a eunuch is a specific thing. Like that's
they were made into eunuchs.
With the penis still attached. Yeah, okay.
Eunuchs just still have penises.
No, they don't.
Better late than never.
That's not true, Hobbit.
Eunuchs
I'll get Mariana Spring to fucking verify that.
Eunuchs are castrated.
Yeah. There's different types, isn't there? There's the ones where you just get your balls.
Abortion isn't where you castrate someone.
No, we're talking about eunuchs.
25 babies murdered.
Who got turned into a eunuch?
That's what I was asking. No, he didn't.
8 men became ex-men at the DNC convention.
He's ceased to be a man.
They are ex-men.
They had their balls chopped off, or both. Fucking the meat and the veg. Is that because there's the Chinese eunuch and then there's like the other eunuch. Like I don't know where the other one's from, but the ones in China, they had everything cut off. Like it was.
Ooh.
You got it all taken off.
Nullos.
Yeah.
Nullos, I believe they call them, don't they?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Alright. Oh, okay. Basically, Chinese eunuchs are like what I consider eunuchs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rumble's finally decided it wants to go live.
Oh, good. So I'm glad everybody missed that. So, in summary, 25 babies murdered and 8 men were rendered infertile at the DNC, it's called.
Mm.
So, a sacrifice to Moloch.
Big Worm's right. I didn't actually get round to this. Big Worm says she has a fake Bo Selector face. That's what I was going to say to you, Hobbit. She literally looks like an Avid Marion character.
The
woman
if you're
on the
not
screen?
at the table, they're on the menu.
Yeah.
Can
you see me growler?
She's got like 3 chins.
She's got more chins than a Hong Kong phone directory.
Hong Kong phone book at the DNC. That's how Americans talk, especially that American.
You know what the real crime is? Who's the Karen on the left-hand side looking up to like?
I did wonder. Hey, I refuse to use that anti-white slur.
Why?
I did wonder what happened to Gorlock the Destroyer.
Boob in her gut? Like, why is Karen's boob in her gut? Why is her boob that low
That's what
down?
I mean. I know, that's what I'm saying.
She has lesbian breasts. It's a commonly known phenomenon for those that refuse to wear bras.
No, she got udders, mate. It looks like an udder. That's what an udder would be if humans
and she
had udders,
also
right?
looks like. Do you remember David Spade that used to do the films with Chris Farley? Like she looks like David Spade as well.
I believe the old term for them was women in comfortable shoes. They also don't like wearing bras.
Yeah.
And let's face it, if your shoulder boulders are that big, you need an over-shoulder boulder holder.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she'd just go sling them over her back, couldn't she?
Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in the bow?
Yeah. So there you go. And that looks like David Hogg over her left shoulder. Like, have you seen these?
It's a psyop.
Why does David... This is another thing. Why does David Hogg still look 16? Shouldn't he have grown up by now?
Well, we all remember his original moniker of Adam Lanza, right?
Yeah, exactly.
His original thing was, I'm cycling on my way there now, and then the next minute he's telling you how he was there all along. When he on his BMX? Didn't he say something about being on his BMX on his way down to Parkland or something, didn't he?
I don't know. I just find it weird, and also, like, we're not allowed to use. Now, I'm using this in the term of, like, saying, oh, look, if evil right-wing thugs would use the term gay and retarded as a slur.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to use the term gay and retarded. But I do find it weird how David Hogg had, like, a bunch of Disney songs on his phone. The idea being that when people try
High School Musical.
So, are you saying, Hobbit, if I typed into AI, please show me a group of people who aren't gay and retarded, that these would be the people it would show?
It would, well, I don't know. The
Ask
AI,
Grok. Ask Grok to, like, make you a picture.
Yeah.
What, the far-right frog platform known as Twitter?
Yeah.
Formerly known as Twitter.
The left wing won't read. The light won't leave, sorry.
Yeah, even though they keep saying they will, we're wondering when. But the point being, David Hogg has all these like Disney songs on his phone, Goo Goo Gaga baby music, so that if someone tries to interview him, he'll play the music and they'll get copyright.
Hobbit, I've got a maths question for you. Tesco pays its bosses 9.9 million a year and makes 6 million profit a day. That is enough to pay for 7. That is enough to pay for 17 million pints of stolen milk or 500 tons of baby formula every single day. Now tell me shoplifting is a problem.
Right, that's an anti-Semitic canard. So anyway, going back to David Hogg and his copyrighted music tactic.
What's his copyrighted music tactic?
He explained it.
You see, the funny thing is, I was saying about how David Hogg goes around with like a bunch of Goo Goo Gaga baby music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he plays these Disney tunes so that if someone tries to interview him, he can just have it copyright struck because copyrighted content.
Yeah.
And he goes around saying...
Fair use isn't a thing, is it?
Oh.
Well, he goes around saying how clever he is for doing this. And I thought, well, if you're so clever, then why are you having Goo Goo Gaga baby music on your phone? Why not just have, like, something which might be considered...
If he is so clever, why is he worried about people replaying it?
But the other bit as well, which I just... It's like, so you just have Goo Goo Gaga baby music on your phone?
Yeah.
David Hogg.
What, he literally plays stuff like Let It Go?
And I don't like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. See,
that's a decent tune. No, those old musical tunes were actually decent.
No, he probably wouldn't have that, would he? He'd have like The Little Mermaid or something more contemporary.
So someone on Twitter put, "What's the biggest lie in British history?" And Otto English said exceptionalism.
What?
What?
Literally, it's objectively true. Like the most exceptional and the most excellent. Like, I'm not saying this to be a bigger or anything. So, Keir Starmer, pay attention, right? Most inventions, biggest empire, most people speaking English in the world, and also stop slavery. Right? All of these things happen because of the English. Whether you like it or you loathe it, it happened, and it's just the idea that British exceptionalism is some sort of myth. Well, that's just a blatant falsehood. Speaking of which, Shrouded Turin, they've been analysing that.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's been making the news again. Now, two things about it. They analysed it in the 1990s and said, oh, it's only 600 years old, completely ignoring the fact that two things. One, it was restored 600 years ago. And two, the only bit of fabric they decided to do radiocarbon dating on was the bit which was restored and not the original shroud. And then when they actually analysed the original shroud, yes, it's 2,000 years old, and the face which is on there has been engraved with ultraviolet radiation, which I think is like, wow, okay, so what human being could make ionizing radiation appear from their face in the death shroud?
Aliens.
Jesus Christ, by the way.
Aliens.
Jesus. Yeah, yes, that's true. Jesus Christ, most documented figure in human history. It's not just in the Bible as well. There are Roman letters from Pontius Pilate to Emperor Tiberius.
I thought he was a spaghetti monster. That's what the eminent thinker, the Duke of Dork, told me.
Are you're being Pastafarianism in now on the noodly appendages and touch the world and stuff. I don't remember, just a bunch of bullshit. Where is that part? I found an old Lego set and I'm building a lorry and I'm trying to find this piece, but at the same time I'm like, there's Fortean things happening in the world today. Like, why is an example of saying that's Fortean? Now, mobile phone signals. I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but I bought a different SIM at Tesco because I have 3. Other phone networks are available.
Yeah.
And they're all shit. I mean, they all claim like, 99% coverage, but it just so happens to be that I'm in the 1% of the country, no matter what part of the country I'm in, where there's fuck all signal. Now, two things. They're turning off the 3G part of the network.
And 2G, obviously.
Yeah, that as well. And they're also, the 4G roll-off never really took off. And they're going to 5G, which doesn't have the range of 3G because it's line of sight. It's very high frequency. Generally, you want stuff that's low frequency that carries further.
Oh shit! Ricky Berwick's going to London Comic Con.
Nice.
So you want stuff like now. The only advantage to 5G is with the increased bandwidth and the localization. Is it makes it much easier to track people, and there's also the potential to weaponize it because I don't have a term for this, but there's a thing in radio technology where you can focus beams into one concentrated point, and you can do interesting stuff with it. I mean, on the very most fundamental, boring level, you can use it to heat things up like a microwave oven does. But you can do far more interesting things. You can alter people's emotions by beaming different frequencies into their brain. This can also be done with sound waves, and this was what was understood with cathedrals in Gregorian chant, where the sound waves were healing waves. They were used to make people well. And that's why they had this same thing about devil's notes, like you can't play certain frequencies because they will harm people. And then we had that thing about the standard reference tone of A being changed up to 440 hertz when really it should be 432 hertz. Some people say it should be lower, but I find that 432 hertz, that makes C equal 512, and the subharmonics of that are far more pleasant and numerous than the shitty A equals 440 hertz modern standard tuning. So anyway, what else has been happening in the Fortean world of this week?
Should we talk about people stuck in toilets?
Yes.
Hobbit's favourite.
Speaking of directed energy weapons, let's talk about people stuck in toilets. Pam Babcock. Babcock is a great English name, isn't it? Pam Babcock.
Do you know the weird thing is, and this is a Fortean subject, right? And you may be just thinking, oh, well, that's a funny coincidence. But this, and I want to know, like, in the chat as well, maybe you can help me out and just say, oh, it's just you, Hobbit. John Smith. It used to be the most popular name in England. Now it's Mohammed. And last time I looked, the John Smiths in this country, and this could have been like the 98 census or whenever it was, 1991 census? Anyway, there was nearly 500,000 of them in this country. And I can't for the life of me ever remember encountering a John Smith. To the point where if I meet someone and the name's John, I just say, is your surname Smith? And then they've never said yes. There's always been like, oh no.
There are a couple of names, like I knew a couple of Neil Smiths and also Chris Lewis. My school was infested with Chris Lewises.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was just infested with them. There's dozens of them. I don't know.
I used to know.
How do people pick the same name in the same year though? Like it's weird that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah. There's
Aspect Cat says John Smith was the Labour leader before Blair.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just imagine the alternate timeline before Tony Blair murdered John Smith and became Führer.
What? I didn't know about this.
Yeah, you know, been to that timeline, Hobbit.
Yeah. John Smith mysteriously died of a heart attack, Hobbit.
Oh, Cherie Booth killed him. John Wilkes Booth style.
Yeah.
But was more soft about it.
For fans of what's it? Till Death Do Us Part. The useless layabout son-in-law. Do you remember his useless layabout son-in-law? Have you seen the really old ones?
There is no evidence supporting that Cherie Blair assassinated John Smith so that her husband Tony Blair could.
But there's also no evidence that she didn't either.
Yes, so we have to say allegedly.
But the useless layabout son-in-law was one Tony Booth, one father of Cherie Booth before he became Blair.
Wait, Blues? That's
wasn't he also in that show with Alf Garnett, Till Death Do Us Part, and Sickness and Health?
Mm. Oh, apparently he hated Warren Mitchell, and they were both Labour men.
Wait, that's a bit weird. Isn't there another like political party that had someone die around the same time and someone else took over? It's a bit weird that, you know.
Malcolm Rifkind?
No, the BNP didn't like Tyndall die and like Nick Griffin swooped in there. Maybe use.
Who's Tyndall?
The previous what do you call the leader of the BNP? We'll just say leader of the white race. The previous leader of the white race, John Tyndall.
Oh,
before when Nicholas Griffin took charge.
Yeah.
Wasn't Sir Patrick Moore running it at some point?
No, I think he was a member. I think.
Oh, British Union of Fascists. Different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like, you know. Oh, he's the host of Games Master. Yes, and he was in the British Union of Fascists.
BUF. Let's not malign Patrick Moore's memory. Let's see if we can find some facts.
Is this some light link between Dominic Diamond and Oswald Mosley and Patrick Moore?
Dominic Diamond was so obviously a fucking shit lib.
That's why he had no contact with Sir Patrick Moore in this.
Yeah,
ever.
that's why Patrick Moore was a floating head in it.
Oh, just a shout out to people. There's the show called Rose Tinted Spectrum, and he's currently doing a review. He's finished Breaking Bad Influence, as he calls it. So he's now doing Games Master.
Okay, then let's clear this up. According to Wikipedia, obviously, Moore briefly supported the Liberal Party in the 1950s, though later condemned the Liberal Democrats, saying he believed they could alter their position radically and they would happily join up with the BNP or the Socialist Workers' Party if, by doing so, they could win a few extra votes. Fucking hell, those days are over, aren't they?
Well, isn't that what happened in 2010? Like, Lib Dems joined with Conservatives.
Yeah.
And they were saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make student tuition free, and we're gonna legalize cannabis." And they were like, "LOL, just kidding."
So, in the 1970s, he was chairman of the Anti-Immigration United Country Party. Never heard of that party. A position he held until the party was absorbed by the New Britain Party in 1980. He campaigned for the politician Edmund Ironmonger. That's not Ironmonger, Ironmonger, Iremonger. At the 1979 general election, as the two men agreed the French and Germans were not to be trusted. Based.
Well, I
Based.
think that they've been vindicated on that. I mean, we have seen what trusting them has resulted in. Also, can just say, did you know in this country that cannabis is illegal? Because it seems whenever I go out into a town or city, all I can smell is cannabis these days.
Yeah, it's getting worse. It's getting worse, and it stinks more and more like armpits, doesn't it? Why do they specifically breed it to smell like armpits?
I mean, there was that old variety which the Daily Mail and Peter Hitchens hate called skunk, and there's another variety called cheese which smells cheesy.
So Ironmonger and Moore gave up political campaigning after deciding they were Thatcherites. He also admired the official monster raving loony party and was briefly their financial advisor. A Eurosceptic, he was supporter and patron of the UK Independence Party, and he campaigned on behalf of Douglas Denny, the UKIP candidate for Chichester, in 2001. Moore was known for his conservative political views, declaring himself to be English rather than British, with not the slightest wish to integrate with anybody.
Good man.
And stated his admiration for Enoch Powell. Moore devoted an entire chapter, The Weak Arm of the Law, of his autobiography denouncing modern British society, particularly motorist hunting policemen, sentencing policy and the Race Relations Act, Sex Discrimination Act and the Thought Police / Politically Correct Brigade. He wrote that this is Patrick Moore, not me. Homosexuals are mainly responsible for the spreading of AIDS, and the Garden of Eden is the home of Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. So did he invent that phrase?
God, just... I mean, like, if you've been alive today... So two things about Sir Patrick Moore. Apart from being, like, Britain's most foremost astronomer, he's a keen xylophonist, and a fan said... is there any... Like,
shouldn't that be pronounced xylophonist? Because they change it to fon, don't when they talk about someone actually doing it.
So the fan said, "Look, I'd really like to buy an album of your xylophone playing, but I can't find any." So Patrick Moore sort of sat down with a 90-minute cassette and just filled both sides with like him playing the xylophone, and said, "No, there's not, but I've made a recording for you. I hope it's to your enjoyment."
Yeah, it could have had Patrick Moore doing "Send the Buggers Back" on xylophone, couldn't he?
I just like the idea that he says, "No, nobody's actually there's no like albums of me playing it. So I've just like taken 90 minutes out of my day to play you xylophone. Here you go, have fun."
So, in 2007, an interview with Radio Times, he said the BBC was being ruined by women, commentating the trouble is that the BBC is now run by women and it shows soap operas, cooking quizzes, kitchen sink plays. You wouldn't have had that in the golden days. In response, a BBC spokeswoman described Moore as being one of TV's best loved figures and remarked, These forthright views are what we all love about him. During his June 2002 appearance on Room 101, he banished female newsreaders into Room 101.
Yes, I remember that. It was brilliant. I like one of the things he was talking about, like celebrity culture. He says, "Oh, it's terrible. I don't recognise any of these people." And so the presenter, it might have been Paul Merton, was saying, "Do you reckon?"
I haven't finished with who should have been Lord Patrick Moore. I may be accused of being a dinosaur, but I would remind you that dinosaurs ruled the earth for a very long time. More response to those who criticise his right-wing beliefs.
Yes, I think I remember him saying that.
Moore cited his opposition to fox hunting, Bloodsport, and capital punishment to rebut claims that he had ultra-right-wing views. Although not a vegetarian, he held a deep contempt for people who go out to kill merely to amuse themselves. Well, surely nobody should disagree with that statement. He was an animal lover, supporting many animal welfare charities, particularly Cats Protection. He had a particular affinity for cats and stated that a catless house is a soulless house. Moore was opposed to astronomy being taught in schools. In an interview, he said, "You see, anyone who is interested in astronomy will gravitate to it." Is that a pun? As I did. If you start teaching it as a school subject, it's going to be taught badly, like everything else these days, and enthusiasm is going to be killed. So there you go.
He's right.
Yeah.
No, he's right. When I was at school and we're doing modern languages, I had a choice between French and German, and I deliberately chose German. And then afterwards, when the secret got out that I'm bilingual, and it's like, well, why don't you do French? You do so well. It's like, look, I need to speak French to speak with my families. I'm not going to have you unlearn it for me. And the teachers got very upset that I said, look, I actually need this language. I'm not having you fucking it up.
So there you go. There's Roger Moore. What did the chat think of Roger Moore? Moore hated the Germans as well because his fiancée was killed in the war. There you go.
His fiancée had a Willy. Remember the stylophone advertised by Rolf Harris? Oh, just a chat of being silly. You know. Everyone's got a Willy.
Painter, don't lie. That's why he did German. So anyway, well, I don't even know how we got into a sidebar on Patrick Moore, but there you go. There's Patrick Moore.
Tony Blair and the coup.
Yeah. And then we were talking about Games Master. Because that just
and it all started with a woman called Pam Babcock.
Oh yeah.
Imagine being Pam Babcock and you're 35. That's not a situation that happened today.
No.
So she had a phobia about leaving the bathroom, sat on her boyfriend's lavatory in Nest City, Kansas. For so long, her skin had stuck to the seat. Oh.
Is there any 30-year-old men called Nigel, Brian, Alfred, Arthur anymore?
Don't think so.
No.
Excuse me. She is an adult. She made her own decisions, said boyfriend Corey McFarren. Well, where was he going to the toilet? It just kind of happened one day. She went in and had been in there a little while. The next time it was a little while longer. Then she got it in her head she was going to stay, like it was a safe place for her. I should have gotten help sooner, I admit that. You'll find out how long she was on there in a minute. I admit that. But after a while, you kind of get used to it. Time went by so quick, I can't pinpoint how long she had been in there. But he thought it had been about 2 years. 2 years on the shitter. Because she had some sort of untreated agoraphobia and just left her on there.
Oh, okay. I'll see you in 2 years' time then. Yes, dear.
I don't know. Was he feeding her on there or something?
I'd just be like, I'm going on holiday now.
Wouldn't circulation to her legs have gone? Because you know when you're like having a real good time in the toilet and you're in there a bit long and your legs go numb.
And they go numb. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not the most comfortable of places to sit, is it?
No, especially when you're on there too long and you get a ring round your ass.
Yeah, we've all been there.
It'd be sore. Your legs would be going numb. It'd be cold. Like what the fuck? I don't know. I don't get this. He said she moved around in the bathroom during that time, bathed and changed into the clothes he brought her. He brought her food and water. So she was getting up and walking around. She just stayed in the toilet.
He's trapped in the closet.
Trapped in my bog.
See, I thought you were on about this was some form of public toilet. And I was like, what? How does that happen for like 2 years? What? I was like,
So he brought her food and water. They conversed and had an otherwise normal relationship, except it all happened in the bathroom. So
Yeah,
did
so
she
they had
just
sex
stay
in the
in there
bathroom?
while he was having a shit then?
I guess so.
Blimey. He finally called the police on the 27th of February after becoming worried because Miss Babcock was acting groggy. McFarren, but it must have been a particularly smelly shit he did. McFarren, who works at an antique store, said he had been taking care of her for the 16 years they've lived together. He insisted that he tried to coax her out the bathroom every day. He said beating she received in her childhood caused her phobia. Police found the clothed woman sitting on the lavatory in McFarren's mobile home, her sweatpants down to her mid-thigh. She was somewhat disorientated, and her legs looked as if they'd atrophied. The house was cluttered but not in shambles. He said the smell was overpowering. She initially refused emergency medical services, but finally convinced that she needed to be checked out at a hospital. We pried the toilet seat off with a pry bar, and the seat went with her to the hospital.
What the fuck?
The hospital removed it. She was not glued. She was not tied. She was just physically stuck by her body. It's hard to imagine. I still have a hard time imagining it myself.
Sweat must have fucking adhesive.
I just wonder if too much of her skin had gone through this. Too much of her skin had gone through the seat or something.
It's like, have you ever seen these really fat women that they become fused with the bed and it's bits of mattress in the body?
Oh no, grim! Oh, don't do that.
Is she really fat?
I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, if she's not moving,
her legs had atrophied.
Yeah, because she's not moving about. Lazy bones.
Oh God. Babcock was reported in fair condition at a hospital in Wichita, about 150 miles southeast of Ness City. She had an infection in her legs that had damaged her nerves, and she may wind up in a wheelchair. Whipple said that, judging by her condition, she had open sores to which the lavatory seat stuck. It appeared likely she'd been sitting there continually for at least a month. Authorities said they did not know whether she was mentally or physically disabled. McFarren was charged with mistreatment of a dependent adult, and a week later he was arrested for lewd and lascivious behaviour after he allegedly exposed himself to a neighbour's daughter. Fucking hell, what a pair of weirdos.
Fuck it.
Now, can such people be rehabilitated?
What, the toilet woman or the weirdo boyfriend?
If that house got struck by a meteorite and obliterated, would we be worse off in any way? Would there be somebody in a grocery shop going, "Oh, Mr. Babcock's not here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really missing out on his bog roll sales."
Yeah.
The amount of bog roll he buys is going to put my children through college. Because they gets through a lot of shit in a week. I'm saying that she poops too much.
They said, what is the name? It's like his name is almost like the Turkish version of Babcock. His name's Kevser Babatu.
Babakanoosh.
Something like that.
What?
I don't know. I'm just kind of terrified I'm going to summon a demon or something. I'll say this name wrong. A Turkish num called Puckajul for Tunch. Do you remember that one, Hobbit, from the young ones?
Kaplunk, kaplunk. Whoops, where's my fribble? Yeah. Oh, that's Red Dwarf.
A Turkish woman kept her rich 41-year-old husband, Orhan, locked in what a cuck. Locked in the bathroom for 3 years, according to a report in Hurriyet newspaper in November 2003. Police found him crouching naked next to the toilet with a bowl on the floor for his food. Why have it on the floor? We'll put it in the sink. Jesus. She claimed he was mad. He said her goal was to make me sick so I'd die and she inherits my fortune.
What the fuck? That's going a long way, eh? Fucking hell.
Jesus, there's got to be a better way to kill him off, isn't there? What's he going to do? Just claim he died on the shitter or something?
Yeah. And Elvis Presley, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he insisted that he had his dog food in a bowl next to the toilet. That's the only way he would eat.
Yeah. Well, you know what these rich people are like. They're a bit weird. In January, an 84-year-old opera enthusiast got locked in the ladies at the prestigious Estonian National Opera. I should imagine that's very prestigious, the Estonian National Opera, isn't it, Hobbit?
It's probably not a patch on the Vienna one, but I imagine it's better than your average service station toilets in.
No, it's prestigious, Hobbit. It's prestigious.
It's no Cobham services.
After a Sunday afternoon performance of Rossini's Cinderella, a staff member had turned the lights off and locked the toilets when the opera finished. The woman wasn't discovered until Monday morning, 20 hours later. She was taken to hospital for tests as she hit her head trying to escape in the dark. In November last year, another opera goer and a drunken American had found himself locked in the venue's toilets and caused significant damage before being freed. Like, I was about that. Like, Estonian woman takes it with a bit of dignity. Yank loses his fucking mind because he's got to sit somewhere for 2 minutes.
Well, I was going to say he has a dirty protest because he's going out of his mind with boredom. But what about Mrs. Babcock, who's just like, I'm just going to spend the next 2 years in this bathroom and do nothing, and get stuck to the toilet for a month, and then when my husband comes in to feed me. At no point we're going to be like, oh, hey, what's the word I'm looking for? Hey, husband, I can't get off the toilet. Okay, I'll leave you there for a month and then call the paramedics.
So you go. This one you're going to actually learn a bit, Hobbit. But carry on.
Oh, and then I'm going to expose myself to the daughter next door for some the little girl next door for some reason, and that story gives me more questions than answers.
Could be worse. Bog Lady could have been one of the Indian conjoined twins.
What?
Oh, the Twins episode, Fraser. Just everybody felt sick after the end of the Twins episode.
Oh no, grim.
Speaking of the Twins episode, you know those two Siamese twins which are country singers?
Yeah.
Like one of them's dating and
oh no, it's not a gay one, is it? The gay one.
What?
Remember the one that was gay and the other one
No,
wasn't?
it's the two girls that have been on Jerry Springer before, isn't it, I bet?
The one that are joined at the head.
Mm.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they share a brain or what?
Well, no, the skulls.
I think they share a lot of blood vessels, don't they? I bet that's why they can't be separated.
Yeah.
It's like if they try to break their skulls open, there's a good chance they die. So they're like, oh, okay.
Or at least one would die, if not both.
Yeah, normally in cases like that, yeah.
It's
to be
risky.
fair, there was we read a story about one pair of twins, didn't we? Where one of them she died, didn't she, just to save the other one? She just kind of willed herself to die or something, didn't she, Hobbit? Do you remember that story?
I think there are numerous cases of twins in the womb, and one of them will die and atrophy and be absorbed into the other twin's body.
Well, that was most of the Indian stories, weren't it? It was like badly absorbed twins, wasn't it?
I was just thinking that almost sounds like a band that's been on John Peel.
Badly absorbed twins.
Badly absorbed boy. I quite like Badly Drawn Boy. I wonder what he's up. I suppose he stopped making music.
Does he still wear that hat?
Did he do that song once around?
Yeah.
That was a good song. I like that song.
I liked Something to Talk About from About a Boy is a decent one of his.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That he's I mean, for a guy that likes his heroin, his voice was in fine fettle.
Was he? Oh, was he a big heroin user? Is that what the hat's for?
He's fond of his heroin, as the Irish would say.
He was on the first Uncle album. That song was good. Yeah, weren't Ian Brown on that too?
Uncle album?
Do you remember a band called Uncle, but with a K instead of a C?
No.
Yeah, they were like a techno outfit, but they used like indie singers for voices. So like your man was on there, and I think Ian Brown was another one on there as well. So David Leggett was stuck in a freezing cold toilets at Aberdeen's Kitty Brewster and Woodside Bowling Club for 4 days after the door jammed and the handle fell off. It's cue the was it the Panama music, Hobbit?
The Panama music.
You remember the Panama adverts, don't you?
No.
You know where something had happened, and then he'd strike up a Panama cigar.
Oh, it's Hamlet, and
is it Hamlet? I always think it's Panama. It's not, is it? It's Hamlet.
It's air on the G string. Yeah. Oh, thank God! I finally found some of these bastard pieces. The bit I've been looking for, well, I'm just looking for a Lego brick, and I finally found some. It was what's his name, Gregor Fisher.
Why do I always call it Hamlet? I always call it Panama for some reason, but Panama are like a brand of cigars that are about the same sort of time. But it's like, I just remember that, like, they should have done an advert with him in it, you know, where the handle falls off. And yeah, the comb overs were like way later, weren't they? But there's one, I remember the guy's in the bunker, isn't he? Where you see him hacking away with his golf club, and then the puff of smoke comes up, doesn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
And they did a spoof on the Andrex puppy as well, didn't the dog run off with a toilet roll, and so he strikes up. Shit, Badly Drawn Boy's last album was 2020. Did he have a bad batch of brown or something then?
Oh, well, maybe it was some of George Floyd's special fentanyl.
So anyway, David Leggett was stuck in freezing cold toilets at Aberdeen's Kitty Brewster and Woodside Bowling Club for 4 days after the door jammed and the handle fell off. Cue air on a G string.
Willy bum bum bum.
So on the 10th of December, like the best time of year to be stuck in a freezing cold toilets in Scotland. The 55-year-old bachelor said he realised immediately he'd have a long wait as the club isn't used much during the winter. He was eventually discovered by a cleaner who heard him shouting. I had nothing with me to eat, so I sipped cold tap water to keep me going. I did a survival course once and I knew I had to keep my feet warm, so I kept a running basin of hot water and putting my feet in to send heat through my body. Because the lights were off and there was only a very small... Go on then, Hobbit.
At least you had hot water.
Yeah. I mean, he did all right, didn't he? And because the lights were off and there was only a very small window, 12 foot in the air, it was dark most of the time, and the cold, cramped conditions meant he managed no more than 3 hours sleep a night. Poor bastard.
Fucking hell.
That's not very nice.
Oh shit! Sped West said that 2020 album was his first album in 8 years.
I guess he's been on the heroin a lot. Did he do a song called I Really Like Heroin, It's Great? Heroin
so yeah, the money from the last album ran out then, is that what it is?
Yeah, you'll see him in another 8 years when he's run out of skag money.
Yeah.
Please buy this album. I need some heroin and it costs money. If you buy this album, then I will not have to do work again.
If you tolerate this, then I can buy some skag. I know that's the Manic Street Preachers.
Yeah.
I like to think like.
Did they manage to find their wayward bassist? Do you remember that when Nicky Wire went missing? But no, lead guitar, weren't it?
I don't know, but
yeah, no.
I just think...
Nicky Wire, I don't even know whether it's 14 because he just dumped his car near a bridge, left the door open, and fucked off. No, I don't even know if he ever got found.
That does sound Fortean. I just like to.
I'll tell you what, should we have a quick look? I'll see if there's a Wikipedia page. Talk for a sec, Hobbit.
Right, so Boards of Canada, I like to think that their actual passion in life is just to be B&Q salesmen, and doing the music is just a bit of a side project for them. They're both brothers, but for some reason they were like, oh, we don't want to be known as the Scottish Orbital, so I'll be Marcus Ewan and he'll be Michael Sanderson, because that's the Boards of Canada thing. And then they would say in an interview like, hey, the first time we did some music experimentation, we had a Grundig radio our dad gave.
Nicky Wilde, I never knew Nicky Wilde was a little bit controversial. He said, in this season of Goodwill, let's pray that Michael Stipe goes the same way as Freddie Mercury pretty soon. You fucker.
What's that? There seems like there's like a story behind that.
It does seem... I thought Nicky Wilde went missing, but they don't even mention it in there.
Oh, well, I guess he... Well, is this one of those things like... I keep trying to think, oh, yeah, what's his name? Craig Charles. He pulled over to have a wank because he was, like, high on crack. And then you told me, like, no, he didn't pull over to have a wank. He was doing it whilst driving. No, he stole a taxi and had a
sorry,
wank in the
I
taxi.
got the wrong one. I think it was Richie Edwards. Sorry, got the wrong Manic Street Preacher. So it might be 14 because it's disappearance and presumed death. So Edwards disappeared on the 1st of February 1995, on the day when he and Bradfield, so that's James Bradfield, the lead singer, were due to fly to the United States on a promotional tour of the Holy Bible, which must have been an album or something. I don't think they were actually promoting the Bible. In the 2 weeks before his disappearance, Edwards withdrew £200 a day from his bank account, which totalled £2,800 by the day of the scheduled flight, equivalent to $7,321 in March 2024. Just in case you needed to know that.
Jeez, inflation. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's unknown if
No wonder Freddos are like 50p now. Fucking hell.
It's unknown if he intended to spend the cash during the US tour or whether part of it was to pay for a desk he had ordered from a shop in Cardiff. Wow, this is real like stuff, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's not £200 a day. That's like the max limit for the fucking ATM, isn't it?
It was back. It was back then. I think you can set your own now. It's at least 300 at the minimum. Yeah. There is no record of the desk being purchased, which would only have explained half the money being withdrawn. So how do they know if he was what? So, or whether it was to pay for a desk he'd ordered from a shop in Cardiff. There is no record of the desk being purchased. Okay, purchased, not ordered. Okay, I'll give him that. According
so it was ordered, it was never bought. Or
yeah.
Picked up. All right, paid for.
According to Emma Forrest, as quoted in a version of Reason, the night before he disappeared, Edwards gave his friend a book called Novel with Cocaine, instructing her to read the introduction, which details the author staying in a mental asylum before vanishing. While staying at the Embassy Hotel in Bayswater Road, London, according to Rob Jovanovic's biography, Edwards removed some books and videos from his bag. Among them was a copy of the play Equus, which, by the way, this is really weird, but Daniel Radcliffe acted in that when it was on the stage, didn't he? Edwards placed them in a box with a note that said, "I love you," wrapped the box like a birthday present and decorated it with collages and literary quotations, including a picture of a Germanic-looking house and Bugs Bunny. The package was addressed to Edwards' on-off girlfriend Joe.
Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit, kill him now.
To his on-off girlfriend Joe, whom he met some years prior, although they had split a few weeks earlier. If he killed himself over a bird, that's pussy behaviour. Edward's sister Rachel, contributing in an article about Edward's final lyrics by Guy Mankowski, proposed that Sylvia Plath's poem Tulips summed up everything he thought at the time he went. She added, "Why do I know this? Because he told me he kept a copy of it, and he asked it for it to be read at his funeral." Rachel Edwards said his thoughts must have been dominated by this poem, the themes and messages. The poem is generally considered to depict the tension between the speaker's desire for the simplicity of death and the tulip's encouragement towards life. The next morning, Edwards collected his wallet, car keys, and some Prozac and his passport. He reportedly checked out of the hotel at 7 a.m, leaving his toiletries, packed suitcase, and some of his Prozac. He then drove to his flat in Cardiff, leaving behind his passport, his Prozac, and the Severn Bridge toll booth receipt. In the 2 weeks that followed, Edwards was apparently spotted in the Newport passport office and at the Newport bus station by a fan who was unaware that he was missing. The fan was reported to have discussed a mutual friend, Laurie Fiddler, before Edwards departed. This timeline was turned on its head in 2018 due to the original assumption made over the toll booth ticket found on the Severn Bridge. It had been assumed that 2:55 on the ticket was 2:55 p.m, but in 2018 the original software engineer of the bridge was located, and he confirmed the software printed out the 24-hour clock, meaning Edwards passed this location at 2:55 a.m. Therefore, the timeline of events and subsequent appeals for information were no longer valid. On 7th of February, a taxi driver from Newport supposedly picked up Edwards from the King's Hotel and drove him around the valleys, including Edwards' hometown of Blackwood. The driver reported the passenger had spoken in a Cockney accent, which occasionally slipped into a Welsh one, and that he had asked if he could lie down on the back seat. Eventually, they reached Blackwood and the bus station, but the passenger reportedly said, "This is not the place," and asked to be taken to the Pontypool railway station. It was later ascertained, according to Jovanovic's account, that Pontypool did not have a telephone. The passenger got out of the Severn View service station near Orst, South Gloucestershire, and paid the £68 fare in cash. On the 14th of February, Edwards' Vauxhall Cavalier, imagine being a rock star with a fucking Vauxhall Cavalier, received a parking ticket at the Severn View service station, and on 17th of February, the vehicle was reported as abandoned.
I think badly drawn boy, he had was it a mini metro or?
I bet he did.
Austin Mini.
When was the song Tolerate This? Was that 94, 93?
So don't know actually.
So I remember listening to it as a kid. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, I think that might. Trying to think, probably
used
around.
To watch it on was it the box or fucking MTV? Or
I think around 94 sounds about right. 94, 96, somewhere between 94 and 96.
Yeah.
You know, with the cadence, it's always pronounced Manic Street Preachers. What if it was an American saying, "Oh, they're the Manic Street Preachers"?
The Manic Street Preachers. They just hate the way Yanks just mispronounce everything.
It's almost as if they're speaking another language, but
yeah.
through some internal, we can understand them. But it's like when, the Flemish and Dutch speak, they understand one another, but the way they speak is offensive to one another. It's it hurts their ears to hear it.
Yeah. So the car also had. So police discovered the battery to be dead, with evidence the car had been lived in. The car also had
Flemish. And wish to disagree, please write to BBC Points of View, Sir Jimmy Savile House, BBC House, Shepherd's Bush.
Why don't they call it Sir Jimmy Savile House? Or they could name the entrance part Hugh Edwards Plaza, couldn't they?
Oh fucking hell! Christ.
Well, they could have the Prince Andrew wing.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, where's Prince Andrew in this fucking? And the Jeff Dean Epstein fucking lounge.
Yeah.
Maybe in the canteen they could have a Pizza Express.
And the Harvey Weinstein, couch or something. Fucking.
No, he never worked for the BBC.
Yeah. Due to the service stations.
The, Kevin Bacon, not Kevin Bacon. Who's that
you mean
guy?
Richard Bacon? No, he was a cokehead.
No.
He wasn't a pedo.
No, not them. Who's that guy that acts like Bill Clinton and murdered, allegedly, a bunch of gay male prostitutes?
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
Yes. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about that Democratic guy that had actually murdered gay people. I can't remember his name. So the car also had photos he'd taken of his family days prior. Due to the service station's proximity to the Severn Bridge, known as a suicide site, it was widely believed that Edwards had jumped from the bridge. Edwards refers to suicide in 1994 in saying, "In terms of the S word, that does not enter my mind, and it never has done in terms of an attempt, because I am stronger than that. I might be a weak person, but I can take pain." So that's him saying he was going to commit suicide, apparently. Since then, Edwards had reportedly been spotted in a market in Goa, India, on the islands of Fuerteventura and Lanzarote. There have been other alleged sightings of Edwards, especially in the years immediately following his disappearance. However, none of these has proved conclusive. None have been confirmed by investigators. The investigation has received criticism. In his 1999 book, Everything, a book about Manic Street Preachers, Simon Price states that aspects of the investigation were far from satisfactory. He asserts the police may not have taken Edward's mental state into account when prioritising his disappearance, and also records Edward's sister Rachel as having hit out of the police handling after CCTV footage was analysed 2 years after Edwards vanished.
Well, that's a bit like, oh yeah, let's just let the evidence cool down for like two years before.
Yeah, let's just let everything calm down a bit before we.
I was just thinking, like, is the investigate Kinko JFS like, I just need the CCTV evidence to cool off before I do this investigation.
Yeah.
While his family had the option of declaring him legally dead from 2002 onwards, they chose not to for many years, and his status remained open as a missing person until 23rd November 2008, when he became officially presumed dead.
Officially presumed dead, so there's no evidence.
Yeah.
You know, that story reminds me of, who was that BBC presenter, the children's...
So, yeah, what did he know, basically?
The smart guy. Used to do smart.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, we really need to do something about like the amount of people that commit suicide that work for the BBC.
It's
is it true? It's more than one. Okay,
it's more than one.
One and a third person.
Yeah, there's all sorts, like local radio DJs, everything that committing. Loads of them commit suicide.
I tell you what, if Mariana Curtis ends up committing suicide,
you got the wrong one. You mean Spring?
Mariana Spring, if she ends up committing suicide, I'd be like, what did she know?
I think she's
verified out of life.
I think she's the one that does it, and then and then confirms
allegedly.
Would a thing be called BBC Unverified?
Her suicide was verified.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Mariana Spring has never categorically stated she wasn't with Prince Andrew at Pizza Express, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mariana Spring has allegedly never disavowed the actions of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Does Mariana Spring refer to her vagina as the Mariana's Trench?
Graham. Mariana Sinkhole.
Mariana Spring has not given a comment in regards to the Hugh Edwards case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mariana Spring refused to stick her finger in my bum. And she allegedly.
And she will pay for this insult.
Mariana Spring was going on the tour to see her favourite band in Germany, whilst leaving me at home to look after a collection of cats, allegedly.
All right, I think we need to move along. It's just as well. Certain people don't listen to this show.
Yeah, Mariana Spring, fuck you.
Craig Wilson said the abyss. Is he referring to the Mariana Trench?
We're just talking about some of our films we enjoy watching, allegedly.
That's a coincidence.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
Mariana Spring was seen buying a train ticket to Cornwall. Gwyneth Coles 77, spent more than 12 hours trapped in a public toilet in Pickering. Is that Ronnie Pickering, North Yorkshire?
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? I'm Pickering in North Yorkshire. After nipping in at 6:30 p.m. on the 17th of September 2007, not realising she was inside, a caretaker locked the convenience for the night, and she wasn't found until the next morning. Luckily, she was on her way home from a holiday in Scotland, so was able to use some of the contents of her suitcase to keep warm. She put on 4 jumpers, a jacket, and a mac, and managed to get some sleep sitting on the seat. I think it's hilarious now, although it was pretty traumatic at the time. Mrs. Coles told the York Press, "This will go down in family history as the night great-grandma got locked in the loo."
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, if you're busting for a shit, but it's near closing time,
yeah,
then it's like, take your time, because you may be in there for the long haul. Don't do it on a Friday evening, then.
In March 2005, a woman in her 70s spent 2 nights in a lavatory without food or light after being accidentally locked in while on a computer course at an adult learning centre attached to the North Middlesex Hospital. She was admitted to the hospital suffering from severe stress. Oops. On the 26th of March, Ron Borgona of Binghamton, New York, tried to pay his £2,509.66 water bill, fucking hell, which he had been disputing since September 2006, with a cheque written on floral print 2-ply toilet paper. City officials refused to accept the unorthodox payments. There we go. So that's that. Did we enjoy that, peeps?
Yeah.
It was very Fortean, especially the bit about the Manic Street Peaches, and
that is a real mystery there.
Yeah, it was like a joke for ages about Nicky Wyatt being missing.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah,
very strange.
What happened then?
Yeah,
why was he taking all that money out? Like, what was he?
So it seems like he was planning to just disappear. I suppose some people they go a bit funny, don't they?
Yeah, so
Was he
with cocaine and fucking shit,
Was he going to do a Leonard Rossiter and just end up as like a monk somewhere in Wales?
Yeah.
Just become a Franciscan.
Lily Allen reveals she got rid of her dog after it cost her a fortune by eating her and her children's passports and visas, which prevented the kids seeing their father for months.
She ate it. Can she not just shred it or burn it or something?
No, the dog
ate it.
No, the dog ate it. The dog ate my passport. Okay. Sorry.
I thought she ate the passport.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids.
You can't. Sorry, kids. You can't see your dad. The dog ate your passport.
All right.
That sounds like one of those court
I thought you said
excuses.
She ate the passport. I was like, what? No. Why would you eat the passport?
No, she's got rid of the dog because it ate the. Oh. It might just be that she's a shit owner.
I'd go with that.
Yeah.
There is that, yeah.
Lily Allen is all that's wrong with the world, says somebody on her. Got a puppy, used it for likes on Instagram, then sent it back to the home because it chewed up her family passports that she left within its reach. Hopefully his pup found someone who deserves her. Cute little dog as well.
What breed is it?
Literally, here you go. I'll stick the picture up.
It looks like a rug.
I put it up. Oh, is it on there? Okay. So there you go. What it looks like. So there you go. It's just a little fat Labrador-y thing.
Oh, it's a Labrador. All right.
I think so. Looks like it's got a bit of Labrador. It's too furry to actually be a Labrador, so it looks like a bit of a mongrel.
Well, either way, I mean that's a nice dog.
So someone put down here, dodged a bullet. Imagine having to listen to her sing and then the spewing gif from World Police. That's not really Fortean, but so what do you want to do? T.E. Lawrence or the vegan vampire?
Vegan vampire. Yeah, the T. Lawrence. We might even save it for another day because he's special.
Okay, then we might do a bit of that. We can use it to talk about a bit of Dune and stuff like that, can't we?
Oh yeah, and the Sabres of Paradise and all that stuff.
Yeah. So an international team of chemists has carried out an analysis. You can't get analysis without anal. Of the proteins and peptides on 3 letters written by legendary 15th century Wallachian ruler Count Vlad Dracul. I thought his name was Vlad Dracul, not Vlad Dracula.
It's like, names change based on where you say them, don't they? Like Peter in Dutch is Peter. Even though it is
I thought his name was specifically Dracul, because Dracul means son of the demon, devil, dragon, something like that. Son of the dragon, I think. Also known as Vlad the Impaler, aka Vlad the Impaler. Is that like you have to do with Tommy Robinson, where you have to call him Stephen Yaxley Lennon?
They love that, don't they?
It's just like, do they think he's a demon? If they bring out his real name, he'll just shrink away and disappear.
Is it like with the artist formerly known as Prince? They always just refer to as that.
I mean, are they there like? And they're like talking to a family member, and they're just talking about Cliff Richard. And he goes, "Don't you mean Harry Webb?" Cliff Richard, also known as Harry Webb, is the only one I can think of.
What did they say? Cliff Richard, real name Harry Webb.
Yeah.
Madonna, real name Siobhan Bloggs.
Madonna Louise Ciccone.
What? The jabroni's not a name. That's
her name's Madonna Louise Ciccone. Do you remember Sonic Youth did that album, Ciccone Youth? Do you remember that one?
No.
Where they did Madonna covers.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember Sonic Youth, Hobbit?
I probably did hear it. There was like a lot of music.
It was like slacker grunge. Like 100% was like a really good track of theirs, to be honest.
I probably was there like with Alien Ant Farm and Teenage Riot.
No, they were before that. They were like in with like Nirvana and stuff. They were in with like the Nirvana wave of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll take your word for it.
1981 to 2019, apparently. So they're from New York City. You ever heard of Thurston Moore? I think he gets around a bit, doesn't he? Thurston. Where's the... trying to find their discography. What's their big album? Dirty, I think, was their big album in 1992. They would have been. You would have heard them on the evening session.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Anyway, there's that. Anyway, what was I? How the fuck did I get all the way over? Oh, yeah, we were talking about
Sonic Youth and Madonna. Stephen Yaxley Lennon.
That's how we got onto this, weren't it? To see if they could. So Vlad the Impaler, also known as Stephen Yaxley Lennon, to see if they could determine any medical conditions he may have suffered from. When writing a document by hand, fingers and parts of a person's palm rest on the paper. Did you know this, Hobbit?
Really?
Yeah. This is science, Hobbit.
I love science, mate. Yeah, we're big science. As you know, on the paranormal investigation show Fortean Words, we're big fans of science.
Yeah, so just in case you didn't know that you have to touch a letter while you're writing it, I didn't know if you knew this, Hobbit.
No, I didn't know
this
that.
Is brand new. This is brand new, cutting-edge science.
What's your favourite science, and why is it shark science?
Yeah. The team applied ethylene vinyl acetate. So what's that, Hobbit?
I mean, polyvinyl acetate is a type of glue. No, polyvinyl chloride. No, there is polyvinyl acrylate. That's a glue. It's a type of glue, isn't it, or it's a resin?
Yeah. So they applied ethylene vinyl acetate to the document. Is this like they put sticky tape on it, but they didn't want to say that?
Oh, they applied a sticky gel to it and then they peeled it off.
Right, so they used the ethylene vinyl acetate to the documents to absorb the residues, then removed it and tested it with, and then tested it with mass spectrometry. So basically, they did like a science version of like that goo stuff that you use to clean dust off your dashboard.
It literally is like if you've ever done this with silly putty, you put it on the piece of newspaper, and it lifts off the print. Yeah, like you do the same with this, and then they got like all the residue from the document.
But this would have to be a lot more gentle, wouldn't it? Because obviously you wouldn't want to be taking the ink off of a like 700-year-old document, would you?
Well, this polyvinyl acetate, it's obviously mild stuff. I mean, they weren't going to put super glue on it now, were they?
So they found more. So then they tested it with mass spectrometry. So what's mass spectrometry, Hobbit?
Right. So mass spectrometry.
Spectrometry. Why do they have to spell it like that? Spectrometry. That really trips you up in the middle, doesn't it?
So when you analyse the spectrum of something, what you do is you shine a light on it, and then you look at all the way the light's diffracted, and based on different elements, it will refract light in different ways. Mass spectrometry is when you get like I don't actually know the process. I know gas spectrometry is when you turn it into a vapour, and then you shine the light through what the vapours are, and then you get light. So I know gas spectrometry is easy to do. But mass spectrometry, I assume they just got like a solid object and they shine lasers on it.
Well, they would have done it with the polyvinyl stuff that they pulled off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, all that's doing is like, you know when you get like...
So what it does, it's an analytical technique that's used to measure the mass-to-charge ratio of ions.
Yeah.
It does kind of... when you explain something, you're not supposed to use the name of it in it, are you? Otherwise, you're not explaining it. Because they say the results are presented as mass spectrum. That's like literally...
no. So what they're saying there is like a mass spectrum is you got your spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And it's showing the various like weights of things. So like if there's gold there, that will be on the left-hand side. If lead's near it, it'll be near gold. If you've got some helium, well, you'd be lucky if you got helium in a...
So do they get the... So they get like a graph or something with all the masses on it, and then they figure out what chemicals they are from the masses. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it. You just got various spikes where various elements are, and then from there you can infer that, well, these are the likely molecules which would have these elements present. But the thing is, I think actually there is molecular mass spectrometry. I can't say the word, sorry.
It's that TR in the middle. It's like, why do they need to spell it in a different way so it doesn't trip you up when you try and say it?
Instead of trying to say that term, if I say spectrum analysis,
MS,
which is the same
call it
thing,
MS.
or study of spectrum, if there is a study of spectrum where you can actually look at the molecules and go, that molecule, this spike corresponds with that molecule.
Yeah.
We're getting bogged in the detail. The fact is that using this, they were able to infer something about Vlad the Impaler, real name Stephen Yaxley Lennon. You have to say Stephen Laxey Lennon, otherwise he comes in through the doorway.
Yeah,
and he sticks an elbow into your chin.
He steals your firstborn and works on a spinning wheel.
And then you have to like pay him a monthly charge.
So they found more than 500 peptides.
Gran Canaria.
So they found more than 500 peptides on the letters, 100 of which were likely to be of human origin. What's that, Hobbit?
Yeah. Oh, yummy peptides. Sorry, I just...
What is a peptide, anyway?
It's like, you know... I wish I could tell you. All I can just think about is that episode of BBC Verified with Mariana Sirtis. And she's having a dream, and she's eating peptide cake. No, that's Star Trek. That's Star Trek TNG. Oh, and I think it was eating the peptide cake. Either way, they were talking about yummy peptides.
Fred says, "Why is the top of that Instagram screenshot wobbling about?" I think it might be because you're drunk, Frith.
Is it? Is it a day in the week ending in the letter Y?
Fritz not drunk again, is he? So,
did you know it's illegal to be drunk in a pub?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they found one that.
Did you know cannabis is illegal in this country?
Yeah, he eats Troy as a cake in that weird dream, says Alphabet Cat.
Mariana Curtis. Hey, at least someone remembers. I knew we were into an episode of Fortean Words.
When I was a kid, pep used to be a slang term for a sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They found neither do I. 500. They found more than 500 peptides on the letters, 100 of which were likely to be of human origin. Analysing these, they concluded that the count may have suffered from ciliopathy, a genetic disorder that damages cells.
Silly.
Sounds silly, doesn't it? A genetic disorder that damages cells and organs, as well as inflammatory disease that could have caused problems with the skin and respiratory tract. They also found indications that... Why do they always try and make out that all these olden days leaders were all sickly?
Because they are.
I don't know. I don't know. They just seem to find this need to make out that they were all sickly and dying.
But here's the thing: like, what if they're not sick, but what if they're not human?
Yeah.
But, like, what they're seeing here is in fact it's they say it's a disease. I'm saying it's something else. You know, next they'll be saying he has Tay-Sachs disease because he had an aversion to sunlight and crosses for some reason.
So would have caused problems with the skin and respiratory tract. They also found indications he might have suffered from hemolacria, a condition that caused blood to seep into the tear ducts, resulting in blood-tinged tears. However, they found no proteins derived... And this is the explanation for why he was ill. However, they found no proteins derived from an animal diet, which suggests that the fearsome warlord and purported inspiration for Bram Stoker's fictional Count Dracula may have been a vegan.
That is a lot of fucking conjecture. Right. So here's the thing, right? Let's say you're old, you're feeble, and your digestive system's going, and you find for whatever reason you can't eat red meat anymore. You're sick it up, or you'll have the shits. So you decide to go to chicken soup, and eventually you just go for vegetables, and eventually you can't even have like solid food. So you just like start having like broth and milk, and then eventually people say, "Oh, well, he existed on a diet of vegetables and broth. He was a vegetarian." It's like, no, he's old and feeble.
Oh, but this one. Do you want to hear about a Nazi coin from the future?
Oh, do I?
While working on a building site in Mexico in 2018, Diego Aviles claims he discovered a worn but extremely strange silver coin. It appeared to be a Reichsmark from Nazi Germany, but although the date is partly obliterated, it is still just about readable as 2039.
Oh, it's an Antarctic coin.
This does not appear to be... Well, he found it in 2018, so... This does not appear to be 1939. Distorted by wear and damage, the coin is distinctly different from any known to exist from the Nazi era. On one side, along with the swastika and eagle, there is an inscription reading Nueva Alemania, which means New Germany.
Yeah, it's an Antarctic coin.
While on the other side it reads Alles in einer Nation, all in one nation, which is not known to have appeared on any genuine German coinage. New Germany does actually exist. It's a small village in Mexico, founded in Mexico, founded in the 1920s by German immigrants, but has only 5 residents today and is not known to have ever produced coins.
They have that beer in Mexico. It's got a name. I'm trying to remember what it is. But the fact is, it's actually German. Like the German immigrants that went to Mexico, it's like, we will show you how to make beer. And then the Mexicans like, that's cerveza. Sí.
Oh, okay.
And so it's called Sol, isn't it?
That's Sol, yeah. Sol, yeah. I don't know.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what its name was, and it's like
Alphabet Cat's thinking of another one that begins with C.
As
He
far
just
as
called you an
there's
arsehole. Alphabet Cat just called you an arsehole, Hobbit.
There's Modelo.
He said, the one that begins with C. Then Alphabet Cat said, soul.
Soul. No, Alphabet Cat is actually Japanese. He goes, saw.
What's it? What is that? Do you remember that in the 80s? It's like if you did a Japanese impression, it'd be saw. What does that?
I saw.
Is that actually something Japanese people say?
I've never heard them say it. It wasn't like saying with Kato or something in the Pink Panther, like I saw.
I don't know, but like if you ever did like an impression of a Japanese person in the 80s, you had to go, saw.
I'm thinking technically Japanese. I don't think so.
That's about onanism, Hobbit.
I know. The House of Fun's about going to visiting a brothel.
Oh, there's 13 Mexican beers, Hobbit.
Really? Well, there's Modelo, and then
Corona.
there's
Corona Extra. I never knew it was called Corona Extra. Everyone just calls it Corona. Dos Equis. Okay. Dos Equis, but I think that's like a Yank beer, isn't it?
2 horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pacifico.
Pacifico.
Modelo Especial. I don't think they've actually got any of these in. Why's that got cocaine next to it? Like, I'm gonna put this page.
But the thing is, like, you don't even get these bit unless it's like genuine export. It was just be like, yeah, here's some shit brewed up in Burton upon Trent. It's like, where can we make? No, this is a thing, right?
Hobbit. What are they trying to say with this image I've just put up?
So 2 things. One, I'm going to say you can't. Yeah, that might be referring to salt.
Although it doesn't look like it is, does it?
I know, but you know, Mexicans say, "Oh yeah, salt, lime," and then
salt, lime,
yeah. But like, so anyway,
Estrella Jalisco. Does that mean Estrella Dam? No, Estrella Dam is Spanish, isn't it?
Well, Estrella means star.
Yeah, there's a 6-pointed star as well. Interesting. Sol Cerveza.
Sol Cerveza.
In Spanish, sol translates to sun. Just so that you know that. Hobbit.
Yes. Oh, well, like Sol Invictus in the Latins.
Yeah. Carta Blanca. Yeah. Never heard of it. Never heard of any of these. Victoria. Yeah, that's a Vienna style lager. What is a Vienna style lager, Hobbit?
I assume that is like lager which is in the style the Austrians like.
Yeah. Like Austrian economics. Indio is another one. Like, to be fair, that looks like a cool one, doesn't it? That's
Alphabet Cat says InBev brew stuff. Yeah, it's all mass-produced shit in Burton upon Trent. Look, Burton water is good for making ale. It's shit for making lager. It's too hard. I know people will say, "Oh, actually, it's nuanced and stuff." No, it's bullshit. If you want a good sweet lager, you get Budvar. Budvar is a good lager because the water in it is soft. Why don't we have breweries that use Welsh water?
No, some of these are right. There's this one called Montejo. Montejo is a Czech-style pilsner named after the Spaniard who conquered the Yucatan.
That will probably be quite good if it's Czech style.
Yeah.
Especially if Czechs are making it, because in New York State there is a beer called Spencer. It's a Trappist ale, and it is a genuine Trappist product. Like there's a Trappist nunnery in New York State, and the Trappist monks from Belgium visited them and said, "All right, sisters, this is how you make a beer," and they did, and it's good.
So there you go. There's some Mexican beers. We like to keep you up on Mexican
the Fortean aspects of brewing. Well, remember one of our very first episodes of Fortean Words.
14 aspects of what are they trying to say in that Tech 8 advert?
Well, do
Alphabet Cat says Alphabet Cat naughty boy. He said a Tommy Robinson special there with the salt, and he didn't call him. He didn't say also known as Stephen Yaxley Lennon. So big fail there from Alphabet Cat.
Real name Stephen Laxley Lennon, exactly. Alphabet.
Yeah.
Come on. Look, everyone knows you must preface it with real name Stephen Laxley Lennon.
I thought that was his full legal name, Tommy Robinson, also known as Stephen Yaxley Lennon. I thought that was his actual legal full name.
It's like Norman Stanley Fletcher in Porridge.
Norman Yaxley Lennon, you've been hereby sentenced. Where was I with this fucking coin? Okay, so we. Oh, yeah. So why would it have 2039 on it?
Because it's from the future.
For the footer. The coin has been verified as being made of silver. Thanks for that. Although it is possible to create a counterfeit with apparently genuine ware, it seems unlikely that someone would go to the trouble of counterfeiting a coin that did not resemble any real one, other than time travel hoax. There has been speculation the coin might have been created as part of the German effort to persuade Mexico to join World War II on their side. Well, they'd have just fucking ruled the world if they'd have had Mexico on their side, wouldn't they?
So is this just like a thing of saying, hey, look, we'll make you some coins, but don't use them until 2039?
Yeah, just don't use them and hide them in building sites.
Yeah. You don't use these silver coins until 2039.
Yeah. Only for it to be discarded when they join the Allies in 1940. Here's a load of coins. Nah, we're joining the Americans. Some people have a more imaginative bent. I think some people have already had an imaginative bent. They thought that the Germans gave Mexico a load of coins so they'd join them. Because that's how you get. Here you go. Here's your commemorative coin to join us, and then that's it. The deal's sealed, then, isn't it? That's the way you persuade a country to join you in war, don't you?
Give them some commemorative coins, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have worked too if it wasn't for those meddling allies.
It's called the post office ploy.
Oh yeah.
But some people have a more imaginative bent than thinking that Mexico was going to join World War II on Germany's side because they gave them some commemorative coins. So some people are more imaginative than that. I've suggested the coin's appearance is the result of a time travel from a future where a resurgent Nazi Reich has conquered North America, possibly using UFOs, after hiding out for nearly a century in Antarctica or maybe some inside South.
Actually, don't you mean OAPs?
Or maybe inside South American volcanoes or on the dark side of the moon, or that has come from a parallel dimension where Germany won the war as imagined in Philip K. Dick's The Man in the High Castle. More cynical minds, though, consider it likely to be a stunt to attract views on social media.
Oh yeah, it's just for clout. That's all it is.
So the two quote unquote sensible explanations are: it's just a prank, bro, or here's a commemorative coin. Please join us in World War II.
But don't use these coins until 2039.
Yeah, but hide the coins. And then the Mexicans went, and then the Mexicans went, oh no, we're so ashamed of these coins that we're going to hide them on building sites.
Yes.
Oh no! To think we nearly joined the Germans.
Well, they realised that crossing the Rio Grande wouldn't result in going to Germany. So what
were they hoping, that the Mexicans were going to start a front in America or something to I don't know.
Yeah, they were going to not clean the American gardens and
distract the Americans so they couldn't join the war, and
Yeah, all the men would have to stay home and mow their own lawns.
Yeah.
They'd turn their army of leaf blowers and blow them away.
Yeah.
I don't think Mexico was that industrialized or anything. What were they going to bring to the fucking fight? Fucking
gardening
pitchfork.
tools.
Yeah.
Fraser, again, leaf blowers blow them away.
Yeah. Have you never watched the A-Team, Fraser?
No.
You don't know. You don't know the damage.
Yeah, I have.
You don't know. You don't know the damage you can wreak with the havoc you can wreak with some corrugated iron and a leaf blower.
Leaf blowers.
And
Also,
and a van.
You do bear in mind, like every American house is made out of matchsticks and toothpicks. So if you put a leaf blower on them, it will blow them down. Like if they got like 20 Mexicans with leaf blowers.
What if the Mexicans, because they've got a lot of cabbages down there, they invented a cannon that shot out cabbages, Hobbit, as happened in the A-Team?
Like an improvised spud gun that fires cabbages instead of spuds.
Do you remember? Did you watch that? Did you remember? Do you remember, or did you watch that A-Team episode, the one where they make the cabbage cannon?
I watched about 6 episodes of A-Team before deciding it was a load of shit and never watched it again. I hate it. Oh look! Here's the evil rednecks that are enslaving poor, impoverished Mexicans who just want to clean people's gardens, and they're using leaf blowers to like burn down their barns and stuff. And here's the A-Team. They're going to drive the van in a way which will not kill them, but will blow up all their vehicles. And that was the other thing as well. It's just like all these explosions and violence, but nobody dying. And I'm like, excuse me, but if you set somebody on fire, they're not just going to be like, oh, rats, I'm on fire, while you foil my plans. They're going to be like, fuck, I'm on fire. I'm dying.
It's just a dry heat, mate. It's just a dry heat, you know?
Yeah, it's just a mild inconvenience being burnt alive.
Should we go into the Fortean influences behind the A-Team then, Hobbit?
Well, also Airwolf, like, oh look, it's like a helicopter, and it does all this stuff, and it's got missiles and Hellfire, machine guns and stuff. But what we're going to do, Knight Rider, but it's a bit more boring. How can you have like?
I'll have you know that Airwolf had bump stocks and banana clippazines.
How can you have like a military helicopter which like is really cool and make it more boring than Knight Rider, whose special ability
was about the CIA and spooks and stuff, weren't it? It was edgy.
It didn't have a talking car.
Why do you think Jean-Marc Vincent was never allowed to work again? It's because he was exposing the CIA.
Yeah, but it was like, oh, we got this helicopter, better not use any of the missiles in it to do it and stuff like, I don't know, blow up that CIA facility.
They weren't working against the CIA. They're working for the CIA, Hobbit.
Oh, right. Well, better go into this cartel and like steal all the cocaine and bring it back to the United States because Panama doesn't know how to incinerate cocaine. Apparently, it's very advanced technology. You need to use.
Do you not remember that episode? Do you not remember the episode of Airwolf where they end up controlling
Hobbit.
The media?
We lost the technology in the Second World War to incinerate shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember
can't do that anymore.
Do you remember that episode of Fortean Words where like the Panaman government were like, we don't know how to incinerate cocaine. We're going to give it to the CIA so they can ship it across into Virginia and then they'll safely dispose of it.
Do you want to know about a hexagonal pyramid in Kazakhstan? I am Borat. I'm
how
from
can
Kazakhstan.
It be a pyramid if it's in... Hang on, weren't we doing like... Mexicans or something?
No, we've done that.
So it's a
we've done that. The Nazi coin from the future, we've done that.
Yeah, but wasn't there like more stuff in Mexico?
Well, I've got the pyramid in... I've got the hexagonal pyramid in Kazakhstan, or do you not know about Borat's pyramid?
But how can it be a pyramid if it's hexagon? Because I thought pyramid meant like...
Well, it is pyramid in quotation marks.
Ah, okay.
It's something with 6 sides then, right?
It's pointy. I think it's pointy, therefore pyramid.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Archaeologists in Kazakhstan, nice, I like, have discovered a 38,000-year-old hexagon-shaped structure that they describe as a step pyramid. That's explained nothing at all.
Yes. Step pyramids, yeah. I know what they are. I understood that reference.
The maze-like structure currently stands about 10 foot high.
I do know what they are, but why don't you tell the audience?
Right, okay, audience.
Yeah.
Like, step pyramids are normally defined by having different tiers or either a step-like structure as the outer casing. rather than the smooth side like the Great Pyramids of Giza had.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah. That's
So
quite...
pyramids that are considered step pyramids are the ones like in Teotihuacan, like in Mexico. They're considered step pyramids because of the way they have tiers.
Pronounce that better than I could.
Yes.
Those like Aztec names are designed to like twist your tongue so it can be easily pulled out your mouth and cut off.
Can you say Quetzalcoatl?
No, because I like to have my tongue inside my mouth.
It's Quetzalcoatl, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
If you pronounce it enough times, you end up choking on your tongue.
Yeah.
But yeah. There you are, audience.
Is that what Hillary Clinton makes people recite at gunpoint?
That's why she hides all the bodies.
You didn't bury the bodies. You moved the headstones, but you didn't bury the bodies, Hillary.
Kevin Spacey gave no comment to people that got evidence lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Look at him now.
This is a completely different... I found the pyramid, but it's a completely different one. It's not hexagonal. I've Googled it, and I found it, and it's hex... Oh, is it this one?
Six-sided, right? Hex is six, right?
Yeah, these are fucking regular pyramids.
Can I just say, you know how journalists are very stupid?
Yeah.
Do you think they just saw a pyramid and went 4 sides, therefore hexagon?
Probably.
I can find. I found the picture. I found the picture from the Fortean.
In Kazakhstan, they don't do 4 sides; they only do 6 as a minimum.
But
I can only find the above picture, so this is real conspiracy hours we got here.
You know when the maths teacher said like, okay, I'd like you to count to 6, 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 6, and like. You know what? You're going to have a great career.
That's the only picture I could actually find.
You're
going to have a great career in journalism, where you are. And then he was like, yeah, I'm going to be a journalist now. So anyway, hexagonal pyramids in Kazakhstan, which are step pyramids.
Well, no, that's a pentagram. Like,
so
fucking
anyway,
hell, these fucking div kids.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, no, I know why it'd be 6 because the bottom bit's probably flat, right? So it's
no,
1,
but the
2,
fucking
3,
the fucking div kids. Look at this picture.
Interdimensional lizard says a pyramid can have any polygon at the base, but will still have triangular shaped walls.
But look, that's a fucking pentagram. That's fucking 5 sides.
No, it's not. That's 6 sides, Hemi.
The fuck?
That's 6.
Is
There's 6
this
sides there.
No, look at the next picture of it. I don't know what's going on here.
Right. 1.
Is this like the
2, 3, 4, 5, 6? The 6.
Hobbit, can you see 6 there? Because that looks like a pentagram to me.
Right.
That looks like the pentagon, like a pentagon.
So two things, right? The outer perimeter is 5 sides. The inner bit with the walls, that's 6.
Oh, okay then.
I know what you mean. But see the bit at the back, there is actually a corner.
Why does it look like 5 from the floor? Like that ankle there looks like 5, doesn't it?
A god of pig of dog says, stop swearing, there's no need for it. You're too fucking right.
Yeah, just fucking stop.
There's too much blue language on this show.
I know.
Yeah.
I just bring it down. Come on.
That's to bump the rating up to a 15.
Yeah.
Do you know what they used to do? If they had a PG but they wanted it to be a 15, they'd put a sex scene, or if they wanted it to be an 18, they'd ram a sex scene in it.
Do you remember when they were just like in films? It's like, okay, we need a sex scene in it now, like Terminator.
It's like, oh, it's a cop movie. Let's go to the strip club. Do you remember that?
Every cop movie needs to go to a strip club, and I mean that's okay. You know, tits and stuff and jiggling. I don't understand. I don't understand the point of strip clubs myself, but I understand.
It's not exactly impressive, this find, is it? I don't even know if I should read anymore because it's not exactly impressing me.
It just looks like a half-completed construction. It's not even that big.
Yeah.
This is the biggest pyramid in Kazakhstan.
No, it's a lag. We have pyramid. We have very good pyramid.
Biggest pyramid in all Central Asia.
This is the pyramid we used to bury the Jew
No.
in.
Well, here's the thing. How big is this pyramid? Because it doesn't look that big. Like
it's not, because I assume... I don't know if you can see the picture I've got currently. Is that a yardstick? The black and white stripe thing?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
So I think that's a yardstick.
Really.
It's not very big. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
I don't know how you can call it a pyramid. How the fuck can you call that a pyramid?
Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Like, where's the how do you know it wasn't just going straight up? It wasn't just a hexagon.
How do you know it wasn't a low wall and they just buried someone in the middle at centre circle? It's like
exactly. Yeah, it could be.
You're making a lot of you're adding your own story there, pal.
Yeah, I mean, unless they cleared off all the debris off the top of it.
Hold on one fucking second. Right, you got that picture there, yeah?
You just say debris.
Debris, yes.
Debris.
Is that what happens?
Right, so you've got the picture that's up at the minute. Previous photo. Where's that fucking hole come from?
I don't know. Maybe they dug it.
I mean, it's no Eye of Sahara, is it?
No.
No.
And hold on, wait, how did they... Well, okay, we're going to get into conspiracy things here, right? Look at that photo. Go back to the previous photo again. Go back.
Yeah.
Go back. I've just noticed something, right? They're saying they unearthed this. Like, what was on top of it then? Because there's, like, hardly any, like, dirt. And it's on top of a hill.
Yeah.
So, what? Someone just didn't notice this for, like... How many thousand years?
And apparently that's a maze that leads to the grave at the heart.
Oh, that what? Baby's first maze for fucking retards. Fucking.
Well, strictly speaking, well, actually,
this is a mind twister of a maze.
if you did that properly, there's no entry point to the maze.
Yeah.
And if you get into the maze, you can't... Only if you go into the left-hand side of the maze can you get to the centre.
That's why it's so fiendish. You see, this is a real twister.
There's no entrance.
Most Kazakhstanis will never be able to complete this maze.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's the maze.
It's a bit like that fossil they found in the fucking... What was it? That lake in the...
Oh, they've radiocarbon dated it, Hobbit.
Yeah.
It was built during the 19th century BC.
Oh, okay. Don't they mean to say BCE, before Christ's era?
Yeah.
Or we just given up on that now?
Oh, no, this is from January 2024, so not very politically.
Well, you said it was 38,000 years, not like 3,800 years.
3,800. No, 3,800. I might have said it wrong earlier.
Yeah. I was about to say.
So it currently stands about 10 foot high.
Wow.
10 foot high?
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
That's not 10 foot.
They've literally got a fucking yard. So if you look at so you see the wall at the bottom going straight in there. They've got a yardstick up in the air. That ain't even a fucking yard in the air.
No. That is a Kazakhstani measurement. It's actually called a yetskimesk. Yes. And it happens to be 2.5 meters long.
Right, yeah. So
everyone in Kazakhstan are fucking pygmy then, or something.
It's the traditional Kazakhstani measurement, which happens to be 2.5 meters long. Speaking of which, why do we ever stop using cubits as a measurement? We got feet and inches,
we never really use cubits because that's an ancient Egyptian measurement.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, feet and inches are ancient as well. But a yard is like your armpit to your finger, and your feet and your inches. Why don't we have cubits are a useful measurement? I mean, isn't that like 2 foot? I mean, it's half a yard,
50.
isn't it?
I think it's 57. That's the tip of your elbow to the tip of your index finger, isn't it? It's usually 50 centimeters.
Well, that's 3 foot, isn't it? A yard is there's 3 foot in a yard. Yeah. So there's 2 cubits in a yard.
What else we got? So we've got a Bronze Age sword. I'm sure we're going to get disillusioned with this one as well.
The bit which really disappoints me about that is Americans, they all say how great imperial measurements are, but they measure everything in pounds, including really heavy things like lorries. They don't use tons. They'll see like
They don't use
this
stones
lorry is...
either. They don't use stones either, do they?
Yeah, but they'll see like the weight of the trailer is like 70,000 pounds. I'm like, what? So that's 35,000 kilograms. So it's 35 tons.
Yeah.
Why can't you use ton? Why can't you use stone? Why does everything in there have to be measured in pounds?
Oh, because they, you know what they're like. They get something in their head and that's it. You ain't getting anything else, are you?
Well, yeah, they'd be too confused with having multiple measurements.
Yeah. I quite like having both. It makes it more accurate. Because I always measure to the nearest one, whether it's an inch or a centimetre.
It's nice having a variety of measurements. Different things for different jobs. I mean, I myself, I don't really use stone, but I understand other people like them.
Yeah. So where was I? So next we got a Bronze Age sword found in an octagonal hilt. Bronze Age sword with an octagonal hilt has been found in a grave in the town of Nordlingen in Bavaria, and it's thought to be from the late 14th century BC. It is in such a good. What I want to know is, before current era. So, what's the What happened at the marcation point between current era and before current era?
Well, we all know it's Christ's era, isn't it? So
but what's the event? Like they've done this new thing, but what's the event?
The event commonly known as the birth of Christ.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to mention because it offends those who deny Christ.
So this is in such good condition that it gleams. The grave contains the bones of a man, woman, and boy. Other bronze items. The archaeologists. What's that about?
My job here.
The archaeologists don't know whether the three were related. Bavaria's State Office for Monument Protection says manufacturing such a sword was complicated as the hilt was cast onto the blade. Researchers know of two manufacturing areas of octagonal swords in Germany. One region, a local one, was in southern Germany, while the other was in northern Germany and Denmark.
Wait, that's not Germany then, is it? That's Denmark.
Northern Germany. Germany never existed back then anyway.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Germany's relatively new. It's kind of like Belgium, isn't it? It's only a bit older than Belgium, isn't it, of it?
Well, Germany's only been around since 1991.
1991. I think they were pretty busy during the 1930s, Hobbit.
Yeah,
1880s to like 1930s.
I think peak years were during the 30s. I'm pretty sure. I'm not a geographic expert, but I'm pretty sure they were doing something in the 1930s.
People since prehistoric times in an era roughly that's Germany, but Germany as we know it today, with the dissolution of West Germany and East Germany, that's since 1991.
So that was as Alphabet Cat says that would have been Prussia, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because Prussia used to exist up until 1945, which is different to Germany. Like Germany was south of Prussia.
Yeah, because didn't they mention Prussia a lot during Blackadder the Fourth? Blackadder Goes Forth.
Well, Prussia's kind of like Prussia goes as far east as what they call Kaliningrad now. Or Königsberg, as it used to be called.
Yeah.
And
in Europe, there's that little slither of land that's still part of Russia. That's where Prussia used to be. But
that was Prussia. Then it goes all over the northern bit of what now is called Poland. It goes through Germany, southern Denmark, and also eastern Belgium. That was all Prussia.
Before it was unified.
Well, no, the Prussia was the unification, and then Germany came up.
But they called it Germany, didn't they?
No, it was called the Kingdom of Prussia.
Are you sure? I thought they called it Germany.
No, Germany.
Yeah,
what was it? They mentioned it a lot in.
German people.
All of my historical knowledge comes from Blackadder, but they do mention it a lot in Blackadder Third as well, don't they? Prussia.
Prussia is different to Germany, is different to the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Yeah.
They're all German-speaking, as are the people of... I can't remember that. It's not Luxembourg, it's next to Switzerland. that Liechtenstein, and there's also the Swiss. Those are all the German-speaking people. And there's also New Schwabenland, but that doesn't officially exist. Is it gone silent again?
No, I'm listening to it. No, we're all listening to you a bit.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. So, look, Prussia existed until 1945. Bismarck in the 1850s unified the German city-states
you
into
are right.
Germany.
It says on the Wikipedia, it says the capital was Berlin from 1701 to 1806.
Yeah.
Well, 1701 to 1806, and then 1806 to 1947. Before that, it was Königsberg.
Oh, okay. Königsberg, yeah, okay.
Which they now renamed Kaliningrad.
So it says
why was
that
Prussia was
Prussia...
called Germanicus? Yeah, I mean, the Germans have been around since prehistoric times, but like the political entity of Germany is only about 34 years old, 33.
And it seems quite a bit smaller as well, doesn't it?
Germany is smaller than what it used to be.
Because they keep fucking around, don't they? That's the problem.
They fudge around and then they figure it out eventually.
Yeah, they fuck around, then they find out, and then they get a bit smaller, don't they?
Yeah, and then it's just like, look, it'd be better off if that part belonged to Denmark and this bit belonged to France.
Mate, we just didn't splinter it into enough pieces after World War II, did we?
Just salami slice it. You just
yeah.
Well, the thing is, if you do that too much, you end up with Germans in your country, and then you have to deal with Germans.
Yeah, no one wants that.
You need to have a
do you remember
German
when Rimmel was asked what death was like, Hobbit?
No.
He said it's like going on holiday with a group of Germans.
I swear they must get up at 3 a.m. or something and to go and put beaches on the
beach towels.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Lebensraum. That thing of claiming bits of the beach with your towel.
Only if they did that 50 years earlier, they would have had a colony and there wouldn't have been this First World War.
Yeah, they are. Their language sounds unnecessarily aggressive as well.
It does. That's why I chose it over French. I actually chose German over French because of that, because it didn't sound like sissy.
So we've got next. We've got an unknown Iron Age ruler. The name of a previously unrecorded Iron Age ruler has been discovered emblazoned on a 2,000-year-old gold quarter stater coin, dating to around 50 to 30 BC, uncovered in a field in Hampshire's Test Valley last March. The exact location kept secret by detectorist Lewis Fudge. The name appears as Isvenertos or Esginertos, which is the translation, which translates as mighty as the god Essos. Who is Essos? Do you know who Essos is, Hobbit?
He's the god of diesel and petrol.
Service station Essos, sandwiches.
Yeah. Spa.
Yeah.
Well,
is he the god of wilted lettuce sandwiches, Hobbit?
I don't know why it's for. Do you remember Little Chef? Does Little Chef still exist?
No,
they've been out
of business.
I remember Little Chef.
With Essos,
that's all I remember of when you.
Oh, Essos is god of the willow.
Garages.
Oh, he's the god of cricket then, is he?
I thought that would be leg before wicket, man.
Although there is no direct evidence for the worship of Essos, the good master in Britain, and little elsewhere, he is mentioned by the Roman poet Lucan as a powerful Celtic god encountered by Caesar's troops in southern Gaul. Equated with Mars, he was apparently savage, cruel, and horrid Essos with his wild altars demanded human sacrifices. Later commentators indicate that the male victims were stabbed, hung in trees, and allowed to bleed to death. What if they were not allowed to bleed? if they get stabbed and they're not allowed to bleed to death.
You now have permission to bleed to death. Oh, thank God! I was, holding on to my blood until you said that. Oh, it's all coming out of me now.
The implication is that Essos was widely revered, but archaeological evidence is scant.
Is this just a German? Is this just a Roman fabrication?
Yeah.
Like,
could be.
The English, they live in swamps all the year round, and they fling shit at each other.
And they eat children and murder virgins or something.
And they kick babies out of incubators.
And then when we came over, they were like, "You're not going to steal our rocks, are you?" This is our swamp. You can't have any.
The symbolism is almost impossible to interpret and may relate to some long-lost mythology. The willow and the cranes are associated with the water's edge, so perhaps Essos was a marshland god. The tree is presumably that in which his victims were sacrificed, but why he prunes it is uncertain. Possibility it shows the destruction and the rebirth of the tree alive in winter and spring. The birds may represent spirits during the former process. They are natural and mutually beneficial companions for the bull, which enhances the fertility symbolism of the tree. Magical groups of 3 birds appear in Welsh mythology, and to the Irish, cranes may represent women. There's a pub near me called the
Your mate, he's a hero, and he should be celebrated. He said, "This is God Kip here, King of Dogs." Said,
"Yeah,
my mate, he came back from the club at 6 a.m. once, and he threw all the towels into the pool. It's what they fucking deserve."
Yeah. Oh, Craig Wilson said, do you remember this little chef Olympic breakfast?
Yes.
Oh, they were nice.
Yeah.
And the Big 7 burger. Do you remember the Big 7 burger? That was fucking massive, that was.
No.
I only went to Little Chef once or twice, so...
I went once or twice, and I thought the food was shit.
I had many a trip when I was a child, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. Heston could go fuck himself. He killed Little Chef.
I don't remember how it died. I just remember it wasn't there one day. Yeah.
That's because Heston changed the fucking menu. That's why.
Oh, did he?
Well, he was suggesting this crazy idea of how about like you make scrambled eggs, and then like the guys, like the heads of it's like, oh yeah, this is a brilliant idea, Heston. These scrambled eggs are really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to get egg powder and stick it in the microwave.
Oh, rank.
And then everyone's like, oh, I don't think much of these scrambled eggs. They taste like they've been in the microwave. Oh, this Heston Blumenthal's not very good. And Heston was like, what the fuck are you doing? You've attached my name to this fucking dog shit that's in the microwave. Why can't you fucking put in the scrambled eggs? Look, it's literally the easiest thing to make. You break open an egg, you put it in the pan, it's scrambled. Oh, yeah, but that takes time. Literally, yeah.
I've been watching a bit of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares lately, and this guy was trying to argue that that buying in frozen pizza dough is cheaper than making your own pizza dough.
I mean, even if that's true,
he was American though. He was American. In his defense, he was American, so he didn't know any better.
So, be that as it may, why are you a chef?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
what it actually was he had a rich missus, and she funded his little hobby of having a restaurant.
Oh, this sounds like my uncle-in-law. Actually, he had a failed restaurant, and his idea was he had all these like frozen food which he'd put in the microwave and heat up.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, well, my clientele are students; they don't care." Yeah. And it turns out students do. Yeah, and then like nobody came to his stupid gay restaurant, which was him just sticking ready meals in the microwave.
Well, this is basically what this idiot was doing in this Kitchen Nightmares. This, it was supposed to be a pizza restaurant, but everything was frozen. Literally everything was microwaved.
What a dickhead!
Yeah, and he had this really convoluted ordering system. It was hilarious. God was like, it's bollocks, mate. It's just fucking bollocks. Let it go. And the bloke wouldn't let it go, and he was stewing. Then eventually he realised that I might actually need some customers in this restaurant if I want to carry on making money.
What is it with these people? And they got like all these like ideas like, oh yeah, I'm going to have this convoluted ordering system. It's going to be brilliant, but all the food is going to be like in the microwave, and it's just refrigerated or frozen slop.
Yeah.
You know, my favourite sort of restaurant is the one where there is a menu, but there's also like, yeah, here's the things we've written on the blackboard today. Yeah. And there's 3 items on it, and you pick one of those.
Yeah.
And I had that, and it was brilliant. I had the œuf cocotte, and œuf cocotte, as far as I can tell, is kind of like this. It's kind of like it's just eggs and cheese, which is melted, and it's delicious, absolutely delicious. And they gave me some crusty bread I could dip into it. It was
nice.
It was just absolutely lovely. And then I had. I think I had a duck in orange sauce. They were doing some sort of...
Rank.
What?
You never had
you
duck
don't like duck?
Duck in orange sauce.
No, I've never really had duck. No, I've never really had duck.
It's a bit sickly. I'm not gonna lie.
What have you? Well, this wasn't sickly at all.
It doesn't sound very nice.
Yeah.
Have you never gone to a chinky and had duck with hoisin sauce or plum sauce?
No, I've never had duck. I've never fancied duck.
They do duck in orange at the chinky.
I don't fancy duck. It's just...
I
don't really eat fowl.
Get yourself, you know, like the cheap ass curry the cheap ass curry, as the Yanks would say.
See, I kind of like my meat to have had 4 legs and shit, or you know, 4 legs, not flippers.
Oh, I like
padded
duck.
feet.
So anyway, you get yourself the cheap curry from the Chinese, but you have a duck one it's what is it like special beef, prawn.
What? Yeah. I always thought it was just chicken in their curry.
No, the curry's like a menu item on its own. Like you can have all the bits in it. You can have whichever meat you want, and you can get duck. Okay. You can get duck curry. The duck curry is quite nice. I had one of those for ages.
The idea of duck in itself. No, I wouldn't want to curry it.
To be fair, what the Chinese do to meat now, I would prefer the curry to, because they use that fucking horrible slimy chicken now. I don't unless it's like a local phenomenon, but they seem to have since the thing happened, since the event happened in 2020. They use cheap meat now.
Specified event.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I haven't had a decent Chinese since God knows when.
I haven't been to a chinky in over 4 years. So I like Chinese food, but I'm not going like out of my way to get it.
Hobbit, speaking of little chef, do you remember the Happy Eater where it looked like he was sticking his fingers down his throat?
I thought that was Little Chef.
No, that's Happy Eater.
I get the two mixed up. But yeah, I think it was either before my time or it's just something I never went to. Never really used to. When I was a kid, I really wanted to go to McDonald's because they had those great adverts designed to like appeal to children. And you remember the happy songs and like they'd show all the food and. It was just like...
Found it a bit. Found the Happy Eater logo. Do you remember that?
Dark and black cherry sauce. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, I like plum with meat. Plum sauce. I was going to go and harvest some plums today, but I couldn't be asked because I'm...
Do you remember that old school font, Hobbit? What font's that? That's like an old 70s font, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just Happy Eater. I found it synonymous with like, oh yeah, that's Little Chef. It's like no,
it's the same thing. I don't think I've ever been in a Happy Eater, or I may have been in a Happy Eater. Maybe their menu was so close to thingy that you didn't notice the difference. But I haven't knowingly yet in a Happy Eater.
And I'm just looking at this, thinking to myself, well, that Little Chef.
Oh shit! Do you know you can actually get the old menu up on? No, these are all Chinese restaurants. It appears Happy Eater is now a Chinese restaurant chain.
Oh, Peter, you'll come here, you'll eat, you'll be happy.
Oh, you want duck with pineapple and ginger a bit?
Actually, yeah, I would quite like that.
Roast duck in kung po sauce.
Yep, that's a good one.
Oh, duck with I've never had duck with ginger and spring onions. I always have beef or lamb.
Yeah, beef and spring ginger and spring onions. Let's face it, that goes with a lot of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. Roast duck with bamboo shoots and water chestnut.
Lovely. Give me some ginger with that.
You want crispy duck in plum sauce? I'll be.
Crispy duck plum sauce, yummy. Yeah, give me that now.
Crispy duck in lemon sauce.
Oh, right.
You want crispy duck in orange sauce? I'll be.
That stew, if you go on the most of you won't go on the 37, but I uploaded a picture of my stew the other day, which was beef and mushrooms with plum sauce.
What else have we got? I found an old Little Chef menu. No, that's that's another Chinese restaurant. Why have Chinese restaurants called themselves Happy Eater and Little Chef now? It's like 'cause I can get away with it.
Because it's out of copyright. It's ours now.
Yeah, out of copyright. I mean it free.
You'll have fond memories of this place. You'll come here now. It's not the same, but you'll come here anyway.
Oh shit! Someone's got a Happy Eater pack of matches. I found on the image search results.
Oh, the world was now. This is a Fortean subject. The world was a happier place when you could smoke in restaurants.
When matches were widely available to children.
And yeah, that was a cool. Kids were just like, oh, I'm gonna go out and make some baked potatoes in a fire.
I'm teenage. My pyromaniac phase is coinciding with puberty, so I'm gonna go and light some fires, Mum and Dad. See you later.
Literally just a case of taking some butter, salt, and potato, tin foil, going out, having a fire somewhere, cooking baked potatoes in fire.
Mm.
This was my teenage. Well, I used to borrow shopping baskets from Co-op, and that was my grill. I quite liked having meat.
Hobbit, could you imagine this? Have a look at this picture here. Why are we talking about Happy? I don't know, but
Oh, by the way, Hemi, that slimy chicken, it's tabby chicken.
Probably tabby chicken. It probably is.
Well, at least it's not, kebab made from dog.
So, Peg, how about this then? Can you imagine that, where you actually got a puzzle game to play for the kids from the Happy Eater? Little Peg
moves are made in any direction, but only in straight lines. What? Any direction?
So you got to peg up all the holes except one, jump over pegs, and remove as in drafts.
Yeah, but how do you move up one level then? Because it's all diagonal.
I don't know. Are you supposed to play against someone?
Well, it says ask your waitress. So,
yeah, well, we need to find a waitress.
I'll be like, excuse me, fast.
Can I find a waitress to tell me how to play this game?
Yeah. Will you come play cribbage with me, my dear?
Oh, mate, someone had a Happy Eater thermos, Hobbit.
Ooh.
Wow.
For you.
I mean, how can this be like? There's all this stuff which just it seems like it. Well, it is a different world now, isn't it?
Yeah.
This world doesn't.
Do you remember when you used to go to the carnival and you used to get those like paper cap things? Do you remember those? No. They were like spiral. They were like flat, but they popped up and you could wear it as a hat. And they used to give them away. Like TSB Bank used to give them away. Like, do you remember when they used to give stuff away?
Do you remember when we used to live in a society with functional things, and you could go to a hole in the wall and it'd just work, and it wouldn't be switched off all the time?
Yeah.
What's the Sainsbury's? What's the point of having a hole in the wall in your supermarket if you couldn't just turn it off?
Hobbit, look at that Happy Eater puzzle game.
I know.
Another one.
Ask your waitress.
Yeah, why do you have to ask your waitress all the time? Are they not busy?
Oh, can you imagine? Like, you go to a place and you have waitresses because it's like,
yeah,
it's women that serve you. What a horrible idea!
That's probably on Yvette Cooper's like extreme misogyny list. Right
is this extreme far right material we're talking about here?
Yeah, extreme misogyny that is having waitresses. Yeah.
The far right thuggery of Happy Eater.
Yeah.
Oh dear, there we go.
Right.
There we go. I think we're done.
Unexplained.
I was
going to say
the unexplained mystery of what happened to her. Happy Eater didn't go like Little Chef though. It just disappeared, didn't it? A bit like Rick. A bit like I can't remember his name. Richie Summit from the Manic Street Preachers.
Yeah, I was going to say him. Well, I think the unexplained mysteries will be Fraser going to relieve his bladder.
Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, night all. We're done.
Yeah.
Good night.
And if you are in the Manic Street Preachers, don't be.
If you are affected by any of the issues from this programme, seek help.
Write to BBC Broadcasting House, Shepherd's Bush.
Sounds good to me.
BBC Points of View.
Yeah.
The Jimmy Samuel Memorial Fund.
Right.